In today's episode, the Alfa Romeo Spider. Hello and welcome to Quarterlight, your car brochure channel, the channel that brings you car brochures like this one from around the world for the 60s, 70s, 80s and 1990s, and we even sometimes go beyond those dates as well. So if you're interested in cars, car brochures, or just looking at a car and going, wow, that really takes me back, that's when such and such a person had one of those, then please do consider subscribing. It is all completely free. Anyway, back to today's episode. Yes, the Alfa Romeo Spider. Now, not long ago, we actually looked at a Fiat 850 Spider. And it was a good looking car, and it certainly reminds me of this. All the complaints around that were, it's not fast enough for this type of car. That's what most viewers said, and I'm sure customers at the time possibly said that as well. But it was an equally good looking car. Well, this is possibly a little bit more attractive or even prettier, as it says here. And also, these have a 1750cc engine, so we've got a little bit more performance to match those good looks. So here we go then. We open the brochure up. It opens a little bit unusually, but it opens like this, so it can actually read even prettier than its picture. Then it talks about the 1750 Spider Veloce, the epitome of elegance and power. And then you can see that the brochure opens up in such a way that actually the middle portions open up. If I can, get a ruler in there just to demonstrate how both sides of these open up to continue the brochure. But anyway, we'll start here as it makes sense. We'll read this little bit of an introduction. It tells us the perfectly proportioned body styling designed by Pininfarina is a true expression of elegance, Italian style. The 1750 engine and mechanical components give it a level of performance never before obtained in a Spider of equivalent engine capacity and price. Power. The 1750 Spider Veloce develops 132 bhp SAE, has a top speed of 119 miles per hour and a maximum torque of 137.4 foot-pounds SAE. These are the performance figures of a true sports car, but how much more interesting they become when it is realised that so much power is developed at only 5,500 RPM. That at 95 miles per hour, the new Spider still has 50% of its power in reserve for startling acceleration, and that at 3,000 RPM, the engine is already developing its maximum torque. In addition, its performance is enhanced by a set of characteristics which give the new Spider pride of place for durability, safety and comfort. The 5 forward gears are fully synchronized through the use of molybdenum. And then I have to quickly flip over to continue that paragraph. Rings. They make driving wonderfully smooth on any type of road, and by allowing very high cruising speeds and low engine revolutions, ensuring long life to the engine. So I'm not sure how old this brochure is. It doesn't seem to be dated, but that seems very early to have a 5-speed gearbox on it, so that was nice to see. I'm just going to flick back though, because we haven't really had a close-up at this front page, have we? I think these are just such an elegantly designed car. We've got these nice chrome bumpers on there. Even the wheels, very simple with just a chrome cap on them, look really nice somehow. Lights, I've always liked the front lights where they're kind of covered to match, sort of make it more aerodynamic. Quarter lights, of course, much approved. Looks like we've got a bit of a wooden steering wheel on there as well. I think the rear of these is my favourite part of these. It just looks so elegant how it sweeps away to that. Again, another lovely chrome bumper and those very elegant rear lines. It is a very pretty car, as it says. It goes on to tell us the body shell has an extremely strong passenger compartment with differential resistance at the extremities. The road holding, one of the most fundamental elements of Alfa Romeo's technical prestige, is made even better by the use of redesigned suspension and wider section tyres, 165 by 14. The brakes are servo assisted with discs on all four wheels and a separate system for the parking brake. They have a total working surface of 396.8 square inch. Those at the rear are regulated by a particularly effective compensating valve. So very useful when braking abruptly or on slippery roads. Headlights, very powerful and suitable for speeds greater than even this vehicle can attain. Comfort, an excellent as the performance is impressive. Firstly, because the car is so stable, both on straight and through the bends, but also because the seats are positioned and shaped in such a way that even the longest journey becomes a pleasure. They are moulded and receptive to the body, giving maximum support. The backrests are adjustable, making the ideal driving position easy to find. The instrumentation and finish are what one would expect in a luxury car, or perhaps they offer even more if one takes into account the elegant wooden steering wheel. The placing of the instruments, which are angled towards the driver for easy reading. The capacity of the boot, which can hold plenty of luggage, a feature that most drivers of open two-seaters are forced to do without. Finally, in a car made for fresh air and sunshine, it is doubly necessary to be protected from the rain and the cold. No trouble with the rain, for the hood is raised in a single movement. For the cold, a hardtop can be fitted, which converts the car into an elegant and comfortable fixed head coupe. Okay, so we're inside the body of the brochure now, so let's pull the camera back and let's all look at some of these lovely images. So when I do fold that out properly, actually, that's only half of it. The other half doesn't even fit on the board, just to give you an idea. You know, the length is double this, so it is a big, short, narrow brochure, but very long. So it does give you some really big pictures, even though it's only a very tiny brochure. We'll start with the interior shot with this lovely wooden steering wheel. So that shot really is quite the treat, isn't it? It's a lovely big picture, lovely steering wheel. Obviously we've got a speedometer and a rev counter. A couple of like little toggle switches by the looks of it. Unsure what that toggle switch actually is for. More gauges in the centre here. Pininfarina. Must have been the designer for this car. Proudly showing, which is always nice to see that shown on a car. And if I just move the camera down a little bit. Look like we've got some kind of heat ventilator and a look at this sort of stubby gear lever. No sign of a radio, but I guess who needs a radio? The image itself, I mean the main image, really showcases the front, so we'll have a look at that. Like I say, I do love the lights on these with these covered sections to make it more aerodynamic. Bumpers obviously wouldn't do a great deal, but they look really nice, as does that lovely Alfa Romeo grille. Really suits it. And of course, this is an Italian brochure, really. It's just been translated into English. And we've got that lovely Italian, tiny little number plate because, of course, in Italy, minor detail, the number plate. We don't want that to spoil the beauty of the car. Now, if I do drag the brochure the opposite way, we can see the second half that we missed out. Text is what we've actually been through already. So we finally get another interior shot. And I think the inside is actually really nice. Yeah, it's just very plain black interior, but we've got that red dash, which really lifts it. We also can see from this angle that gear lever actually isn't that stubby, but it is in an unusual location actually, as in the angle it comes out at. Crank windows, of course, but yeah, it's a lovely car all round. And then when we fold the brochure all the way back again, we get the Spider 1750 technical features to round off this brochure review. So cylinders, 4 in line, bore 80mm stroke 88.5mm, cylinder capacity 1779cc, bhp is 132 at 5500 rpm. Then it goes through some of the dimensions which are really hard to go through on camera, but it does tell us the top speed is 119 miles per hour. Carburation is 2 horizontal twin choke carburetors. Valve timing, V overhead valves directly operated by 2 overhead camshafts acting through oil bath cups. Sodium cooled valves. Clutch single dry plate with progressive engagement. Diaphragm springs hydraulically operated. Gearbox, 5 synchromesh gears and reverse, floor mounted gear shift lever. Front suspension, independent front wheel suspension secured to the frame by inclined transverse A arms, coil springs and telescopic hydraulic double acting shock absorbers, transverse anti-roll bar. Rear suspension coil springs and coaxially mounted telescopic hydraulic double acting shock absorbers, transverse anti-roll bar. Rear axle anchored to body structure by 2 longitudinal torque arms and rubber bushes. Transverse anchorage is by means of a reaction bracket with rubber bushes on the frame and axle. The final drive is of hypoid type. Steering, recirculating ball or worm and roller. Brakes are by 4 discs with braking power regulator on rear brakes, vacuum operated servo, handbrake, operated independently from service brake through suitable drums on rear wheels. Then we get the dimensions, which are really hard to show on camera, but actually from this little drawn diagram it looks a little bit ungainly, actually, the design, doesn't it? But finally the brochure gives us a bit of a stylized Alfa Romeo badge. Below all that, or I've actually had to tip the brochure to one side, we can see that the brochure itself is indeed printed in Italy. So there we go, and that does indeed wrap another brochure review up. Hope you've enjoyed this one, and of course if you've got any memories of the Alfa Romeo Spider, please jot it in the notes there in the comments. Always interesting to read your comments on every video, as a lot of the regulars do. Now if you do want to become a regular, then become a subscriber. It is completely free, you'll never be charged, and you'll be involved in a very friendly community that we seem to be creating. So thank you all for that. Now don't forget to like the video, hype the video, which seems to be the new thing to do. Apparently that helps grow the channel. I'm not sure how, but please do hype the video. And I've also added a couple of other videos you may want to continue viewing, but I've noticed we've now just got over that 900 episodes of Quarterlights, our 900 brochure reviews we've done so far. I can barely believe it, so I'm sure there is something for everybody. Even the regulars, I'm sure, will be able to find a few videos you've not had a chance to look at yet. But thank you so much for watching. Please do take care. We'll see you again very soon. All the best and goodbye.